G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another week of the Grow Me Co free trading newsletter, where we cover what's been going on in the week, point you in the right direction, and just have a look at what is likely to happen, what some of the options are for us as traders into the week that is, by having a look at the week that was. Now, here's the thing. First of all, welcome to all the new people in my community. It's great to have you there. It's great to see that the message is getting through and that many of you are going, hey, you know what? I think it's time for me to follow everybody else and start learning to trade with the checklist. So it's great to see you there. Second point I want to make is, look, it's so important. Like, people will make money in markets whether they have any clue or not. Everyone can make money in a market, but who can keep it? Who can consistently keep on churning out results that give you a consistent either income, if that's what you want, or just build a lump of cash that's available, or use it to invest in more crypto, whatever it is that you want. The thing is consistency. And I'll tell you right now, we've had a really wild week. We had a week of war, of Israel, not just attacking Gaza, but they put Iran on their list of targets and then got the US to do a bit of their bidding for them. So as far as getting a freebie goes, Israel done a very good job in that. So I guess if that's your thing, well done, Israel. Because, of course, the US has come in and gone bang, 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 bang. But what that did to the market is it sent it south. And it sent it south pretty quickly. Not for very long, though. I'll explain that in just a second. Now, I know people go, oh, how do you trade during war? Or the volatility is too much. I can't trade during these periods in time. Well, there might be a bit of truth in both sides of that, as in there might be a little bit too much going on for you to be able to trade consistently, which I'm seeing right now. But how about the luck of being short as we start to see war and attacks and bearish market sentiment? Well, I do the same thing every single day as what I do during war times. That's right. I just trade trends. And we did find a number of shorts last week in the Discord community, a number of opportunities for shorts. And whilst I may not have taken advantage of all of them, I had a bit of a rough week with the old flu last week, I certainly did point it out to the Discord community, who did really well, as you'll see in the email, with some very good short profits. But what am I going to do now? What am I doing right now? Well, before I show you what I'm doing right now, I want to show you a couple of things on the higher time frames with regards to Bitcoin. Because what we've got right now is a little bit of a pullback. Yes, there is the potential for a lower high here on the weekly. This might end up playing out as just a single blip. We really, it's not as clear of a lower high as this could be a clear higher low. Put it that way. This is a clear lower high over here. Couple of candles pushing higher, 1, 2, 3, and then we move to a lower low. So that's very, very clear. This one here, it could end up just being a single candle, a bit of a blip in the whole picture here. But in saying that, I'll tell you what I don't have. I don't have an uptrend on the weekly. I need an uptrend on the weekly to go with the beautiful uptrend that I currently have on Bitcoin on the monthly. Pulled back in and moved away very, very nicely. We're still waiting for that next leg up on the monthly chart. June being very, very quiet thus far, up 0.28%. And we are, of course, on the 24th day of June with really nothing to show for it apart from a bit of volatility. We pulled back into the cradle zone. Here is a bullish candle right here. We did dip below 100,000. Interesting though, we did not close below 100,000 last week. Bullish candle right here. At the end of the day, all I want to see is a break of this high here. We see a break of that high there. We will have some momentum back. We'll have the weekly in an uptrend, a strong trend with the monthly as well. And then the daily. Look, the reality is the daily is in a downtrend. There is a lower high here, a lower low. Then we saw this big bounce back up from here. Look, where are we going to go this week? I don't know, because Trump's come out and said, oh, look, the world is ready for peace. Well, we are ready for peace, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely certain of that. But will we get it? We'll have to wait and see. And this is the thing. I know a lot of people struggle with the whole making profit around, devastating acts like, for example, 9/11. Being short during 9/11. I know this is going back a long time, and many of you might not have traded during that period, but I did. And I know a lot of guys that were trading and were short that did really, really well from that and had a lot of guilt, even though they obviously didn't know that was going to happen, but they had guilt because a lot of death and destruction happened on that day, and they happened to be short and made a lot of money. Well, how do you navigate this emotional draw of, oh, geez, I feel bad making money in bad situations? Because you don't want your psychology to be clouded. You don't want the way that you view the charts to be clouded. You want to be able to view the charts clearly. Well, take the whole war and destruction out of it by just simply sticking to trends and following trends. That way, like if I'm short and World War III breaks out, that'll suck, but I'm short. I didn't know it was going to happen. I'm not shorting the outbreak of war. I am short as the outbreak of war comes in. These are very, very different things. And if it's something that you struggle with, please don't let this come into your head. Focus on trading those trends to keep your head clear. And the way that I trade, it does not change during periods of war, during periods of famine, during periods of feast. It's always the same. It's always following those trends. And that is why right now I'm not doing a great deal. I'm watching. I'm letting the market evolve. It has raced down. There was a bunch of shorts yesterday or last night that were starting to set up. I didn't take any of those. Then I was waiting to see if we would get a bonanza this morning. I really thought this morning might be a day where we get lots of trading opportunities to the short side. Of course, then Trump started tweeting or saying stuff on Truth Social, which sent the market soaring again, talking of peace, and now we've got a little bit of a mess. We've got a higher low and a higher high on the 4 hour, but what I don't see is I don't see any cyclicity just yet. I'm waiting to see what goes on, and I will tell you right now, that is what the majority of the market is doing. After doing a full scan this morning of the market, actually, sorry, I'll go back to the top 10. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of downtrends on our alt markets, a lot of downtrends, and there might be some really good shorts in around here right now. I am as open to shorting this market as I am to going long should the trades evolve. And right now, there might be one here on Ethereum after that big bounce. We're back in that cradle zone. But the bottom line that I'm trying to get across to you guys is that have a look at this top 10. Nearly everything in a daily downtrend. Alt markets are in wonderful downtrends. We've seen a singular bullish candle, which was the candle that we saw overnight. And other than that, they are down and down hard. So be open to shorting the market. Okay, but on the daily time frame, so it's going to need at least another 18 or so hours or whatever it is until tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Now, Bitcoin's dominance chart, it continues to accelerate. Well, it has continued to accelerate. Have a look here at the weekly. Last week, finally, it'd been just chipping away with a little tiny underneath 1% gains for a few weeks. Last week, 1.57% to the upside, pushing Bitcoin's dominance to a peak in this cycle of 65.95%. Now, I've been talking about 70 to 72%, typically what we see in a bull market. We haven't got there just yet. Second to that is look at the total market cap, looking very similar there to Bitcoin. It's got to break out above here, get above 3.5 trillion for us to really start to see those alts stepping up and coming in. As far as direction goes, the direction is fairly clear at the moment on our alt markets. If the opportunity to short comes in, I will be taking it because the downtrends are very much in play, and therefore they will be in my focus. You will see it if I just rip through here. Have a look. Look at all these downtrends. Look at this downtrend. Another one. Oh, it's a mess. So many downtrends right now. So many downtrends. So many opportunities available should we get the small bearish candle for a cradle trade to the short side. Now, if you're not in my Discord community, you need to be getting in there. You need to learn how to trade these strategies that I employ. You need to, more importantly, learn how to go to the market with certainty, knowing what you're going to do each and every day. Don't let global influence your decisions around your portfolio. It doesn't matter whether the market goes up or down. As you saw this week, most of the profits were to the downside. I had a ripper of a long trade on Hype, closed out. That was a really fantastic trade, up 700 and something percent. But more importantly, on my multiple of risk, I made $8,200 off of $500 risk. Not bad at all. I hope you have a great week. I hope you're enjoying the course. I hope that you're enjoying these free newsletters, and tell your mates about it too. And I look forward to speaking to you again in a week. And if you're in my Discord, well, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the scan. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.